Hi, welcome or welcome back. Welcome back. Doo-doo-doo. Hi, this is Sharifa from the Nubian Review, and I'm coming here to you today with a book challenge. So, since I've been in this book planner community, I have not really joined a challenge from my fellow booktubers. And so that was one of my goals this year, as I had put it in my reading journal, is to join some type of book challenge with my fellow booktubers. So I was, as I always do, looking for bookish content, bookish recommendations. And if you have any, please drop some below. But I was watching a video. I want to say, I forgot her name, but I will post the video below also, as she will explain the challenge. So the challenge that I plan on embark on this summer is the Big Book Reading Challenge, I think. Hashtag Big Book Challenge. It's one of those. But I plan on embarking on that this summer because I have a slew of books that I need to get through. And we are still in quarter 2 at the time I'm recording this video. And officially, summer doesn't start for me where I'm at, well, across the world, but it really doesn't start for me until for a couple of weeks officially, right? But I don't want to wait then. I consider June as my kickoff point to try to get this reading list down. So summer is a time to where I like to relax and do my beach reads and, you know, not so much serious books. But this year, I have a goal to finish my 25 of 2025. And that list, now that I think about it, yeah, it has a lot of big books. I like big books and I cannot lie. But anyway, I want to share with you some of the books that I would like to knock off my 25 of 2025 and my reading challenges. But if I don't get to all of them, I won't feel bad. I mean, just putting in the effort is enough for me. So I'm going to start off with a couple of fun reads. So now that I have my reading journal with me, I'm going to let you know which books are on my 25 of 2025 that I'm also going to try to challenge myself for the big book challenge. Oh, I have like several cats, so you may see one, yeah, walk across at any time. Don't mind them. It is all of our quiet time right now in the house. So let me get into this challenge. So this book right here is part of my 25 challenge, 2025 challenge. And this is Combee. This book, what is the page number in here? I know it's more than 400. I think the page number count was 400 to be considered a big book. This one is, wow, it has so much, the appendixes. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's, yeah, I may be at 400 by the time I get to this. This one seemed like it's chunky, but this one stops at 528 pages, which is a good number because my birthday is 528. So, bam, we come out with a good book. So, Combee by Etta L. Fields Black, and this story is about Harriet Tubman in her part she played in the Civil War. So this should be a really good read. Another book that I have on my 25 or 2025, which I'm going to put into this challenge for the summer big read, is Moby Dick by Herman Melville. And I think everybody should know a little bit something about Moby Dick, but it's about the white whale and Captain Ahab. Poor Captain Ahab. He spends his life and throughout life, his adult life or his life, whatever, trying to catch this white whale, which outsmarted him. Let's just say that. And so, I grew up. I read the annotated version a long time ago, but I do want to delve into this one. This is pages, which doesn't, this is not a heavy read. So I'm not anticipating this being something that I will get bored with really quickly. So we'll see. And that is on my 25 of 2025. So I'm gonna give you one more book that's on my 2025 of 2025, and that is A History of the Muslim World. And the author is Michael Cook. Now, to be fair, I have started this book for my quarter 2 reading list. So we are still currently in quarter 2 while I'm reading this. Quarter 2 ends at the end of June. And so will I finish this book? Probably not. But my goal is to still get through it and read it. It's turning out to be very good. So those books right there complete some of the books I have on my 25 of 2025 challenge. Now let's get into the books that I think I want to read and I may get to or may not get to. Now I'm going to kind of go backwards. Also in 2025, I am challenging myself to do a quarterly challenge on big books. So quarter 1, I read Pardon the Waters, and that was it was like 900 something pages, and I finished that. And so for quarter 2, I pledged to read What Hath God, What Hath God Wrought, the transformation of America, 1885 to 1884, Daniel Walker Howe. Now I know this is a history book, but I love reading about very different areas of history, especially United States history. And so I have been listening to this one at night, only for a half an hour though, because I do have other books that I am interested, smaller books that I'm interested in reading and getting through. But this has been interesting. I'm not really, the audio version, because I've been listening to the audio book while I'm following the reading, just in case the author says, like if say something that is intriguing, and so I don't have to, look for it. And it's okay. It's okay. A lot of the things in this particular history of the transformation of America, I've heard very different versions of it. So while it is nothing really new to me, it's still an interesting read. So I will finish it because let me see, where am I on this right here? I am on page 239, and this does meet the big book challenge. I think this is about 700 pages. Let's see. I don't add the bibliography. I don't add any of that to the reading. So this will be 855 pages to count. So we would definitely get through this because I do have a quarter 3 read that I want to embark on. And oddly enough, I did not add that to my big book challenge. I don't know why, but I will probably do a separate video for that in my quarter 3 reading challenge. And so on that video, you'll be able to see what books I have finished in quarter 2, what books I'm still continuing, what books I am DFing, and DNF did not finish, and new books I want to welcome to the party. So let's get back to this. This is a book that I had picked up recently. And sometimes, when I'm in a mood to read certain subjects, my favorite area of reading in history is the civil rights movement and the civil rights era, which covers, a lot of, it covers a lot of the things that we are dealing with right now in terms of our government at the time I'm recording this video, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. And so because I think I read about politics and that I watch, listen to a lot of coverage, I don't let it, infringe on my day. But I do want to stay informed. But anyway, I'm rambling. Sweet Land of Liberty, the forgotten struggle for the civil rights movement in the North. Now, what sparked me to get this was um, there was a mansion that burned down in DC. I'm not going to talk about it here, but Google it. And it was a plantation. Now, I've always had to share with people a little bit of nuggets of history that people felt like slavery was only in the South. I'm like, slavery was rampant throughout United States. The North decided unwillingly, because it was in the industrial state, that they were willing, we're going to say right now, they were willing to give up their slaves. But what a lot of people don't talk about is how when they gave up those slaves, that the United States, they compensated the slavers. But that is a whole different topic I am getting off of. Let's get back to this. So the author, Thomas J. Struggy or Strug, this should be a good book to read. Let me see how many pages we got here with the notes in the back. There are a lot of notes. I like good notes though, don't get me wrong. So this covers up to 543 pages. This should definitely be a good book. I eat these type of books. Like, I just love reading about, like I said, the civil rights era. Okay. So now we're going to get into some nonfiction. Actually, I do have, you know what, before I do that, let me get into all of my nonfiction books. And let's just say these are not books that I don't think that I can get to all of them, but I may be able to get to all of them. Who knows? Okay, so this one right here, I've been putting this one off for a while, but I think this is actually the time for me to read this. I Alone Can Fix It, Donald J. Trump's Catastrophic Final Year, Carol Lanning and Philip Rucker. She is the author of A Stable Genius, which just, cited on here. But this is a book I have been putting off reading. I finally finished A Stable Genius, and it was her writing is very poetic. Let's just say that. And so I'm kind of interested in finishing this one off this summer. Yeah, I'm finishing off a lot of books in my what I call my political roundup. So this was one of them. Another one that this right here was actually a sudden surprise. So I'm actually in the process of reading this. I started this a couple of days ago. And that's what I do. Like, I don't know, are you a multiple book reader? I am. Like, I could be reading 3-4 books, and I can get just as much pleasure out of reading 3-4 books as I will one at a time. But that's just me. A lot of times when I'm reading multiple books at the same time, the subjects are very similar. So it helps me, get through the content, I guess, the reading quicker, because a lot of the storylines are very favorable towards each other. But anyway, this book I picked up as a birthday gift to myself. Their Accomplices were robes, how the Supreme Court changed Black America to the bottom of a radical caste system. Brando Starkey. Actually, I was in my dentist's office reading this and annotating this, and this is pretty good, you guys. I know for a fact I'm going to finish this probably sooner than later. And this one goes to, what is the page number on this one? Page number 593, please. Their Accomplices wore robes. Now, I ended up getting this because this wasn't even on my wish list of books that I wanted to get. I have like a list of books that I was planning to get for my birthday, because that is the only time of the year I really splurge on books that are new. A lot of times my books are definitely recycled books I get from thrift stores, the Freeman Library. I mean, I'm a big advocate for recycling and regifting books. So in around my birthday, that will probably be the only time I'm flexible on getting new books for myself. Not to say that it is the only time, but my first option is to look for the used books. So, and then I work my way out. But yes, this is a good read. Um, yeah, I was kind of excited about that one. So let's get to our last two books that I have on this list. Um, this is Bark Skins, Annie, and let me see if I'm pronouncing this right. Perukes, French. This book right here is definitely something that I have been contemplating on reading for years, and for years I have put it off. But the premise of the book, I think the reason why I'm more drawn to it now, it has to do with the environment. And so, um, yeah, that is just something that is, like things with environment, mental health, some of those topics, those themes, I'm always thinking about. And I guess because it is the type of work that I do, I'm always, wanting to learn more language, learn more history. Now, this is a novel, but a lot of the things that are in this story are loosely based with the timeline of United States in terms of the environment. And so I got something in my eye, you guys. Sorry. And so yeah, that's what drew me to this book. Now she is also the author of Brokeback Mountain and The Shipping News. I saw the movie The Shipping News. I never read the book, so yeah, that'll be interesting, I guess, to read. And I think I've seen Brokeback Mountain a long, long time ago, but I don't think I finished watching the film. But anyway, yeah, I'm getting away from it. Bark Skin is on my list. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if I would get to this for the summer, but I would like to. So I'm going to put it on my list as a self-encouragement. So let me give you this page number. This stops at page 713. Last but not least, this book right here. I definitely think I will be reading this book because this has been on my list since I got it for a long time. And this was recommended by another YouTuber. Um, and it is called Delicate Conditions. Now listen to this, you guys. Her body is no longer hers. That's all it says. But basically, can I give you the premise? Should I give you the premise? Let me see if I can find a little blurb in here. Okay. No, no. I don't want to give it away. But basically, let me see. Okay. Let me read a blurb of this because if I don't read a blurb of this, then it may not be as interesting. And I didn't even want this video to be this long. Okay. Anna Alcott is desperate to have a family, but she tries to balance her life as an indie actress with a grueling IVF journey. She starts to suspect that someone is going to great lengths to make sure that that never happens. Crucial medicines are lost, appointments get swapped, cryptic warnings have her jumping at the shadows. And despite everything she's gone through to make this pregnancy a reality, not even her husband is willing to believe that someone is playing twisted games with her. So the plot is that she has the baby and the baby is swapped. Or yeah, it's something similar along that line. And see, this is why I did not want to like read the premise, because if I read it further, then you will have a little bit too much information. But I have made this video long and drawn out. I want to thank you for stopping by. And yeah, I think this should be a very interesting reading challenge. So let me know what you're doing for summer. If you're doing any reading challenges or if you're doing no reading challenges. Yeah. If you are, tag me below. And every book that I have mentioned It will be in the description. And also, just to let you know, if you're interested in what I'm reading for my 25 of 2025, I will also link that video for you below. But until next time, gang, I will see you later. Bye bye.